GunninGamerz here, Chore Log number 5 already. We're back on Goldcrest, and we've got a big special task ahead of us today. If you take a look at our map here, you can see we've got a whole bunch of sugar beets put in our fields. Now do disregard these fields here, those are not ours, but 12, 14, 15, and 19 have sugar beets on them. Now we do not have any of the equipment for sugar beets other than the planter, which is our corn planter as well. But we are going to be leasing the equipment, the smaller equipment today. Not the big Homer, but the smaller one, because it's about 11,500 versus I think around 60 grand or something like that, maybe even more. So it's a big price difference. So we're going to go ahead and rent the smaller equipment for pulling out the sugar beet, and we're going to get them up into the pig area, and we're going to store them at the train station. Here's what we're thinking we're going to do. Now the reason we're after sugar beet is because we need a root crop to feed to the pigs. It's only going to matter 5%, but what we're thinking is it may help slow down what they're going through with some of this other stuff, because right now they are hammering on all of our corn and barley and wheat. We can't keep up. So we do need more fields, but at the same time we had a peak of 200 pigs earlier. We sold off a bunch this morning, and now we're going to sell off 1.5 more loads, get that number down to 160 so that we can get the money needed for the sugar beet equipment. So the reason that we put all these fields of sugar beets in is that I told the guys if we're going to go ahead and have to rent the equipment to do sugar beet, that we might as well put all of our fields in and get a massive pile. I've been told, and according to what we've seen on our Cisnavica server, the sugar beets last a very, very long time. What we're hoping is that we can still sell some of our sugar beets, recoup the just about 12,000 it's going to cost us to rent the equipment and of course our time, and then we'll have a huge pile that should last us for weeks and maybe even months, depending. Then we don't have to worry about sugar beets for a very long time, or potatoes for that matter. We can stay away from the root crops and focus on the cereal crops and the corn and things like that. Things that we actually have equipment to work with. And we're just going to drive over there, grab a full load of pigs. We can only fit 9 in this trailer. And we'll bring them up to the Humane Society is what I think that place is. Right? It is the Humane Society. All the pigs are going to be brought out to loving homes. They're going to be adopted, I hope. Oh, just got a little bout of lag there. They're working with pallets right now, and they had some pallets that were strapped on a trailer, and that always causes a little bit of lag on the server. They're hauling all the seeds and the fertilizer. They were up at the store, and they're moving all that stuff around, so we might get a little bit of lag during that moment. Let's go ahead and load up all 9 pigs. There we go. And these little guys are going to be adopted out in the loving homes, I think, is where they go now. I hope. But I do have to admit, I love eating me some bacon. But yeah, we'll bring them up there, and we'll come back for a partial load. And that should get our money. We got $66 after buying, I think we just bought like 10 pallets of seed and fertilizer. And they're working on that at the moment. So we'll get everything squared away here, run these pigs over, and drop them off. Alright, we're pulling up here by Mary's Farm. This is where you got to go to sell these things. Another little thing I would like to point out, I've noticed a bug that when your balance is in the negative and you're logged in as an admin, it won't let you sell animals. It tells you don't have enough money to sell them, which is completely backwards. I ran into that bug very early one morning, and before I had my cup of coffee, I was very confused by it, but hopefully today, now that we've got $66 in our account, it won't give me that trouble. There's 10.8 for those hogs, and let's see, yeah, we're good to go. We can sell them, and we're good. So if you do run into that bug where it won't let you sell them, hopefully Giants can get that patched up. You'll just need to log out of your server and jump back in. I'm sure many other people have probably run into that already. Now we'll go ahead and run back to the pig area, grab another 4 pigs. So we're down, or actually be 5 pigs. We'll go down to 160, and that'll give us enough money that we need to purchase the equipment and get those beets out of the ground. One thing I always enjoy in this map is climbing this hill and the sound of that tractor. just working it. We've only got 5 pigs on board this time around. But she'll get up there. Eventually. Alright, these little piggies are gonna go to their new home, right? And we'll go ahead and get them sold here. So we got 5 of them on board. That's another 6 grand. We'll go ahead and confirm. That's gonna get our money up there a little bit more. Give us a few $1,000s to work with the next couple days, which will probably be negative. We're going in negative, I think, 6 to 8 grand a day right now. We still got our outstanding loan, 200,000, but there's 16.8 right now that we've got. So we're gonna go back to the farmyard, drop the trailer off, and we've got our New Holland up at the store. We're gonna swap out those tires and get the equipment that we need over to the sugar beet field. Well, we're at Morgan's Massive Motors, and we're gonna go ahead and jump into the beet harvesting equipment. Again, here's the Homer, and this is why we're not renting one today. You can see right here that that's gonna be 54,000. So I think that with the header was gonna be 60 some odd $1,000. And really, what you're getting out of it, obviously it does a little bit faster, but you're getting 1 extra meter. And for 11,500-ish, we're going to be able to rent the topper and this machine to go ahead and pull them out. Once we're done, we're going to return these, and we won't have to worry anymore about the equipment. And it looks like we're getting some extra help here. So we're going to jump into the equipment here, and it says it needs 134 horse. Now we've got 2 tractors that can handle that. However, we're going to try to put both of these on the same tractor. It's only $880 a day, but we won't need it more than just 1 day. And you can see this is going to need 75 horse. So those together are going to be a lot more than the 163 that's on our New Holland there. We're going to try it. If it doesn't work, we're going to have to put these on 2 separate tractors and have 2 separate people driving through the field. Go ahead and lease. I want to make sure I'm not buying, leasing, and we're good to go. We'll get these back before dark, hopefully. So here is the tractor of choice today. This is our biggest tractor. Now I know it might seem like the progress is moving along a little bit slow over here. We've been grinding though, and this is hard mode. We've been on here every day. And this is just how long it's taking us. And we're enjoying every minute of it though, because we really know that everything on here, we've earned it the hard way, in hard mode, doing everything realistic mods. Everything as hardcore as you can get, including crop destruction and things like that. Alright, whoops, we're about to hit a curb here. We'll get our lights on. Alright, we got our pickup in tow behind us. And there we go, we got the warning lights on as well. Hopefully it can power it. We won't know though. Now we did get our pig numbers up as we talked about earlier. Our hope is that we can start getting those pigs up around that 2 to 250 range as far as the numbers go, and sell at least a load every day. Actually it'd be more than that, because you spit out a pig every... Once you're up over 200, it's 250, you know, in that range, it's every 30 to 45 minutes-ish. So we're going to have like mini trailer loads a day to sell. Basically, it'll end up being about 50 grand of pigs or more a day, which is going to be good. So you're going to really start seeing now, we've put in the first 6 weeks of grinding to get where we are. And now, over the next 6 weeks, you're going to really see a transformation on this farm. Because we're going to be able to start affording some fields. The fields are going to help us make more money. In fact, the field that we're looking at buying for 85 grand next is the one right in front of us. What is that? I think it's field number 24. Yeah, field number 24 is what we're looking at. We'll be able to start cutting the grass around it and everything. And that's going to really help us be able to afford more things, feed the animals more. We're going to start buying more cows, more sheep, We bought 2 of every animal. We've sold several trailer loads of pigs. We've got 3 sheep now and still 2 cows. We're going to be upping those numbers a whole lot. Alright, we're going to start over here today. Technically the field we drove past 19 was the first one done, but we're going to get them all done today. They all need to be done. In fact, I think we need to keep this thing out. This side, if I'm not mistaken, I have not run this thing maybe ever. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put our pipe out. Okay, so it is that side. And we're going to turn on our harvester. And then the machine on the front's going to have to do the tops. And this is going to be a real test. I'm going to start over on this other side because I want to keep that thing on the outside there. Yeah, this thing is already driving very slow. But technically, that's just the speed that it lets us go because this thing only needs 134. We've got 163 horsepower. So when we turn on that front piece right now, it's going to be the real test. It looks like we're still able to do this 6 miles an hour. A lot of the equipment in here, it's a recommendation, but you can get away with running smaller equipment. The next tractor that we're going to purchase is going to be that JCB. I'm going to go ahead and get my GPS all set up here. It looks like it's pretty much right where we need it to be. Now hopefully we don't wither these. We're a little bit worried about that. I don't think we will. And it looks like it's pulling them out of the ground there. Cutting the tops off. And I'm going to get the GPS drive. We've got all kinds of things going on the screen here. Alright, it looks like we're making her go. And it's pulling them right out of there. Look at all that stuff on our screen. That's why I love that HUD hider. Alright, it looks like we're getting her, and it's doing it. It ain't doing it quick, but this thing doesn't let you go fast anyway. Look at it, just pulling everything out. We've got to do all of our fields, but I don't regret that because if we're going to have to rent this equipment, I want to get our money's worth. We'll have plenty of sugar beets to store. It pulls it right out. Oh, this thing is working great. We got both New Hollands out here today. We kept the case back in the yard there because we're going to get that thing plowing. We think we got to plow this time around. Ah, it's still pulling some more out there. That's kind of weird. Okay, it cleaned itself out. And I'm not, well, we don't want to wither anything. I was just going to go right down the middle there, and then I remembered we better not do that because then he'll be driving on the sugar beets and we'll be withering them. It would have been a little bit faster if I shut off the machine first, but that's too much work. Okay, we'll get our GPS to give us some guidance here. There we go. That one will follow up. This is going to be very time consuming, but everything is working very, very nicely. We can't complain. We're just going to have to run this. It's going to take, I would say, probably about 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, something like that. Real life time, I'm guessing. Probably at least an hour per field, maybe a little bit less. Maybe it'll take just 2 or 3 hours, but we'll keep hammering away. Well, this is working absolutely lovely. We decided to go ahead and split the trailers up because these guys are running their butts off. This thing fills up very quick, and you can only fit 6,000 sugar beets in this bin back here to the right of our screen. And so you've got just enough for them to switch out. And it looks like we make it about 1 full pass around the field and then they're full. And he's just about filled up there. I had to make an adjustment there down to 2.9 on our GPS because you can see over on that side of the field it was missing a little bit when it was set to an even 3. So we're set to 2.9. And there you go. Oh, he's hammering right in there. It's awfully neat to see this machine on the front there cutting the tops right off, and then you got the machine in the back there that's actually pulling them right out of the ground. Looks like we just about got him nearly full. So we've been hammering on this for about 30 minutes. Actually, it's just been just over 30 minutes, and it looks like we're good halfway done with the field, so about an hour on this field to get them taken out. We're going to have a switch off here in a second. There we go. Alright, and that's why it's so nice to have some capacity on this machine, just so that we don't have to come to a complete stop every single time. There we go. You can see how the sugar beets back here getting pulled out of the ground, and they're going through a wheel. That's going to clean all the dirt and everything off. All the debris is going to fall off the beet back onto the ground, going over that wheel there on the left of our screen. And they pass through a conveyor. Kind of hard to get a good look at it there. And then up. I bet a lot of the dirt and debris falls off when they go up this part of it too. It's kind of neat how they're just carried right up there though. And they end up falling on another conveyor that falls into a bin. Which, like I said, stores up to 6,000 in that bin right there in front of us. And since we've got a trailer right here, it's offloading them right away. Alrighty folks, that took us about an hour. Just coming up to about an hour to get that field knocked out is what we thought when we were about halfway through. I'm going to do some fancy maneuvering right here to be able to get ourselves lined up for this last row. Turn on our GPS. And it probably helped to have this thing turned on as well. There we go. We got a lot of different trailer loads out of this, so we're gonna probably jump into the tractor here in a second and go for a ride up to the pigs and check out what we've got up there so far. We've got one big pile up there, and then we're using a train station to store the rest of the sugar beets. You do lose about 10% whatever you put down in a pile, so do remember that you gotta try to keep things off the ground if you can. And I haven't actually tested that myself, I've only been told. Kind of notice it too. Just coming up here to the end. I also want to mention too, for those of you that like to leave the comments about, you know, why, oh, you should get this equipment, you should get that equipment. Just remember that we just don't have the money in here. We're doing everything hardcore, and we've been playing ever since the game came out with this save. Pretty much just hammering on it day in and day out, and this is how far we've gotten. So, you know, there's a lot of things we know we could have and would like to have, but when you're playing this way, it takes a lot of time. But that's what makes it so much fun. And we'll get that shut off, so that's one of the 4 fields right there. And we're going to pick that up there. And pick that up there. And this tractor did a really nice job. I'm going to head back to the yard with it. Get her all fueled up. Take a quick little break. We're going to head over to the other field, and that's going to pretty much wrap it up for today's video. Boy, it's so much quieter in the cab. We'll drive over here to our fuel trailer, and hopefully I can get in that trigger. There we go. We're down a little bit. I might as well just fill it up here. Now that thing holds about 3,500 if I'm not mistaken, and this tractor looks like it's about 175. Yeah, so that trailer will last us for a while. It costs a lot of money when we do need to fill it up, but and we got these 2 fields right here. We'll come back. The reason I'm going over to 19 is it is actually a full stage ahead, just in case we don't get to the rest of these today, which I think we will be. You're looking at about another, I'd say, hour and a half between those two fields. That field we just did was our biggest, so about an hour and a half there and half hour here. Is good solid 2 hours just in harvesting, and then we've got to go through and plow, fertilize, plow, plant, fertilize again, and get crops back down because these pigs have eaten up everything that we had in our inventory. Alright, here's the small pile that we started over here. That's just a couple of loads that were dumped. That right there is going to actually last quite a long time with the few pigs that we've got. Few is in about 200 that we'll have, or maybe 250, but they say it's going to last quite a bit of time, so that's all they wanted to dump there. And we also don't want to really lose too much having it sitting around on the ground, so what we're going to do, or what they have been doing, is dumping over here at the, go down this little road at the train station, and they dump some at the other one too, and we can always use the trains to transport this stuff around as we need. We'll just pull right up here and dump her out. And that's a way you can store this without having to, you know, put it on the ground and lose that 10%. Because we'll probably end up selling some of this. Not too much, but just enough to kind of recoup some of our cash. Alright. And back to the yard we go. So that'll wrap up today's video. Again, folks, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day and your busy lives to come watch. We'll be getting some more stuff going again here soon. We should have some more purchases in our upcoming videos. Let us know what you think of this one. Check out all the links down below. Make sure to leave a comment in our comment section. Hit that like button on your way out. And until next time, take care.